So in this week, like we deployed our first smart contract on
Okay.
Remix right now, and we are learning Solidity as of now. And yeah, I personally had a pair of reading through docs and learning through docs, and Web3 is majorly based on docs only right now. So Sneha was teaching Solidity us through the docs only. So yeah, my fear of
Okay.
reading docs got away.
Okay, okay. That's really nice. Really nice. So how far do you folks like Solidity? Do you find it difficult? Anyone who has done programming earlier and like, you're learning Solidity as an another language, what do you think about it?
I have been programming since quite a few time. So Solidity is good. Yeah, I find it nice for me.
Yeah. Okay. Again, the poll won't work for some reason. Wanted to create one, but okay, not a problem. Uh, so today we have a little bit technical agenda, but it's going to be really fun. I'm gonna give you, I'm gonna allow you to explore the side of social login, gasless, and batch transaction. We'll break it down for you. You guys will be the one who would be trying out the product on your end, and then based on that, we'll take some questions. What I have thought for this session is that instead of telling like the code thing altogether, we'll try to keep it more on the end of practically trying out things rather than you putting and using the code. Because I can send you the code over through Notion documents. I'll add the snippets, break it down for you so you can add it in your project later onwards. And then the third call will also see that how you have been building along with Bike on Me. So you can call it like a slight bit of homework that you might have in the end of the session, where you will get to build things around the smart contract that you have deployed and using Bike on Me with it. Okay. So to begin with, I'm just going to present my screen. Okay. Just give me a moment. Okay. Okay. Kiran, I think I can't share my screen. Can you make me a co-host?
Hey, you are the co-host actually. You should be. So
Oh,
let me check. Fauziya, can you actually check once, please?
I am not the co-host, or maybe I don't know. Okay, now I can see. Cool, cool, nice. Okay, because I won't be able to see my screen, like, what's happening in the Zoom meeting, because I'll be presenting the screen to you guys. Let me know if is it visible to you. Kiran, is it visible?
Yes, yes, yeah.
Okay, thanks. All right, so we'll just do a very quick recap about what we had talked earlier in our first call, which was around the lines of number one, onboarding, which is something that we'll solve through sign in with social accounts like Google. Okay, then we talked about gasless and batch transactions. And particularly to what account abstraction is about, we try to differentiate how EOA and smart contract wallets work. So like in EOA, you have private keys, you need to save seed phrases. It's not very security compliant because there have been a lot of threats around. But in smart contract wallet, you don't really need to like manage all these things, and you can easily program it according to your needs, right? So that was the first thing that we had learned earlier. Okay, now quickly, I don't think I'm gonna skip all of this part. Okay, but yeah, we'll look at four things, especially the four things that I had talked earlier. The terms that I had used was user op, mempool, bundler, and paymaster. Okay. So again, as I mentioned in the last call also, this time also I'll be providing like a small notes top like a notes and all to you guys. So you can just like go later onwards and check it out. Okay. So think like user op. Okay, what is user op? I'll show you like here. Okay. So let's say you have got couple of orders to make. Okay, there is your own order and there is other people who are ordering at a restaurant. So take it as a user operation, take it as an operation that's happening. So you get 5 to 6 orders. Okay, instead of the waiter taking that order one by one, what it does is it comes to you, it asks you the order altogether and he writes it down. Okay, so he gets a list of 5 to 6 orders in a single go. Okay, so I can define that all this time when I was giving order, there was a user op being created. Okay, now mempool is basically, it's like a dashboard screen which shows all the live orders. So all the orders that is there on the list, you can call it a mempool. So it's like everything is together and he has got a view of all the orders that you would be doing. Okay, now the third thing is the bundler. Okay, bundler is like the chef who can bundle the orders together. If two different users order like Alfredo pasta and execute them by cooking together. Okay, so you order like a proper dinner of like, you want a vegetable and you want like chapatis, and the chef decides that I'm going to cook it side by side. Usually that's what our mothers do. They cook it side by side, right? So what he's doing is he's bundling the 2 orders or more than 2 orders together. So you can get the food much more earlier if it was being cooked at a time and single time, then it would take more time, right? And also it's not very efficient for the people also, because you don't want to wait that much, right? So that is your bundler. He's putting everything together and he makes sure that he gives 2 to 3 food at the same time. Now paymaster is the restaurant when they offer free delivery and pay the delivery charges on your behalf. So call paymaster like a relayer. That's a third party who's going to cover your gas fees, right? So this is like this I'm trying to tell you in like a very non-technical term, that how user op, then mempool, bundler, and finally your paymaster happens, like what they do. So as per this diagram, which is like a little bit of technical diagram. Okay, think this is your wallet. Okay, I don't know if I should. Okay, I can draw. So yeah, so here if you see, this is my wallet and I'm going to send 2 to 3 operations. For example, I want to buy NFT and someone else wants to sell NFT. Someone wants to buy ERC20 token. These are user ops. Okay, there is called data, paymaster, signature. We'll take a look later to it, but we'll just get a basic idea of how it works out. Okay, now I'm gonna create it mempool. I'll put all my user ops together and I will pass it through the bundler, which will eventually go to entry point contract. Now here we are going closer to a bit of technical stuff in this example. So what is entry point contract, right? So I'm not sure if you've heard about this, but entry point contract was like on testnet for a very long time, but now it's on mainnet. And what it allows you to, it's like a single point contract. So everyone trust on it. Okay. Take your entry point contract as like a principal. it's like it's that contract is trusted by every dApp which is right now being built in ERC 4337. And it is a set of code which is like stored on blockchain, and it only runs when there's like, some certain predefined conditions are met. Okay. Now you must see that there is simulate user op and then there is handle ops. Okay. So handle ops is a function in entry point contract which is executed once the conditions are met. Now what will happen is that there is user's contract account. This is a MetaMask account. Why do we need to validate user op is because we want to check that whosoever is sending the transaction is the actual person. Okay, like because you have a smart contract wallet, you would need to verify that who is sending this transaction, and that happens when you get a MetaMask. There is MetaMask signature request that happens. I don't know if I can show that signature request to you, but I'll definitely try to include one. Okay. So after that, call entry point contract as a factory contract. Okay. And then we move to the validate user op. So we'll validate all this user opt. We'll check if it is coming from this wallet. And if it does, then we move on to the paymaster contract. As I told you, paymaster contract is the one who will sponsor your gas fees. So in your dApp, you would need to validate the paymaster user op. So we will check that the handle ops is passed correctly. Then we'll check that the user op is validated, and then we will allow to sponsor the gas fees, and the rest of is the execution phase. So this is like 3 functions. You can say the entry point contract, and within entry point contract, you've got handle ops, and you validate the user op. And then you check that in paymaster if I should sponsor or not based on your previous function checks. Okay, so this is how it works. We'll do like a very short, you can say, exercise sort of a thing, but in the current in the coming, like, I'll just close this. Okay, so we are going to build things around social logins. We will see how we can deploy a smart contract account. Then we'll do a gasless mint using the SDK and dashboard, and we'll do a gasless batch transaction. Okay. So let me see how we can begin this. Okay. Is my screen visible to you? I think all of this screen should be visible. I don't think there should be any problem.
Yeah, it is visible.
Okay, nice. So this is like a very small implementation that I had made earlier. Just a moment, I'll just hide this. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. So this is like a very small implementation where we will have no wallet. Okay. But we'll still be able to mint an NFT, and wherever gas would be required, it will be sponsored from the backend. Okay. So we'll not pay any gas also for minting the NFT. So let me start off with login process. Okay. This is the first part where we will see how social logins work. Okay. So in social login, if you can see, this is a pop-up that's coming in, and you must have seen that, there's like a Google account, Facebook, Twitter accounts. People use that as a part of your any Web2 app. Okay. You can take any Web2 app, and this is how your login looks like. So in Web3, this is a thing that was not this, like, it was not very popular enough, and people were using just the MetaMask account. So every time you would like to, use your account or deploy anything, you would be constantly logging in through your MetaMask. Okay. But here, here is the first thing that we are trying to change is the onboarding part of it. So I'm just going to go click on Google. Okay. You see, I just get my sign in with Google, and I will choose my official email ID. We'll do one with MetaMask also, by the way, but Right now, let's try out with just email. Okay. Don't look at any of the other things. Just focus on the smart account address. And nowhere you saw a MetaMask pop-up coming in, and nowhere you were asked to save the seed phrase or save your private keys. Okay. What happens in MetaMask? Let's say if you would ever create an account. Okay, I'll call it random. Okay. And if I create it, there is export private keys, and I would need to set my, I would need to have my password. But if anyone gets the access to this password, they will be also, if anyone gets the access to the private keys, they will be able to get to my account also, and my funds can be sent, or there can be a lot of problems that I would face in the future course of time. So I don't want that to happen. And also there is very limited things that you can do in the MetaMask, right? So that's what we'll solve it in this approach. So I get a smart account address. Got it? Let me open my developer tools also. This is my smart account address. Now I can do my transactions through this address. I don't need any address from MetaMask. Okay. But let's try out something different approach. I'm going to log out from here. Okay. And I will do a login process again. And I will do connect using my MetaMask. So I see my pop-up. Let's connect our random account to our social login. Okay. I'm gonna send you the link, this Versal app link also, so you can try out on your end. Okay. So as you can see, okay. Now you see a signature request. Everyone can see the signature request, right?
Yes.
Okay. So this is how the signature request looks like. Okay, it will ask you to sign the transaction or sign a message to allow you to do anything, approve anything. So in MetaMask, this is like a pop-up that keeps coming every time. But when you were using a smart contract wallet through email, you are not getting a pop-up. But because we're using MetaMask, it will ask us to do a signature. Okay, so let's sign a transaction and let's see what happens. Just to let you know, here, this is a transaction hash coming. Okay, I will try to see if I can. Okay, yeah, I can expand it. So my EOA address, what is my EOA address? Let's check. It starts from 0xF23, ends with 3D, and it's connected to this Versal app. Okay, this is my EOA address. But you see, my smart account address is completely different. Also, if you see, there is a hash that is generated. Hash is like a proof. Okay, hash is like a proof that you can always check on Polygon scan if you're in Polygon Mumbai, or otherwise you can use Etherscan if you're in Goldly, where you can just make sure that the transaction is like having a block explorer and you can check it out. Okay, so I get like a transaction hash here, which is telling me that, okay, my account has been created. And I also get gas limit, nonce, value, and other related information. My chain ID is 80001. So this is for the Polygon Mumbai. Okay, chain ID can differ. So yes, this is how it works out, like what smart contract wallet with the email versus smart contract wallet with the MetaMask. Okay. Now let's try minting an NFT. Okay, I'm gonna use this account only. So you can see, right? I have zero Matic here. I have nothing, absolutely nothing. Okay. Let's now mint NFT. just keep an eye on the developer tools. You see, I have to sign my transaction once again, but we don't have any other option because you're using MetaMask, so we'll sign it. Okay. And we got your NFT has been minted when we get a transaction hash here. Okay. And we can also view the NFTs that I have minted. So with my, can you see this address? This is my smart contract wallet address. And in OpenSea, of course, this is like the whole code that we have written where you can go and check it out on OpenSea and how this entire thing works out. But just the implementation part of it right now, that on testnet, and we're using testnet OpenSea, okay, not on the mainnet. So this is my smart contract wallet address, and I get the gas list mint with 374. This is a token ID. Okay. And I get gasless NFT minted with Bitcoin SDK. I own this NFT with my smart contract wallet address. Now this is my transaction hash. Let's give it a check on Polygon scan. Okay. You saw, right? I don't have any Matic with me, but yet I got my transaction. Okay. So contract. Okay. This to address. A transaction has is usually bigger. Yeah. Yeah. So here is the entry point contract that we are using, and here is the bundler. Okay. So this means that I'm able to like use the bundler, and this is going to the entry point contract. So this is like same for most of the transactions that are going through. Okay. Similarly, let's try doing it once again. Again, it is going to calculate the gas and everything. I'll have to sign the transaction. And I get my transaction hash. Okay. Now let's do one thing. Let's log out. Okay. We'll do login again, and we'll choose my email. Let's see what happens when you are doing a transaction through email. My MetaMask account is connected here, but I will just disconnect this account, okay? Because we don't need it here. And here I see my smart account address. You can remember this one. I will mint NFT. You can see, okay, when you open this, this is coming in the developer tools. You get, let me see. You get current login provider as Google because I have chosen Google account. Okay. Again, it's calculating and my NFT got minted. Let's check it out here. This account holds a lot of NFT because I used to test out, multiple NFTs. So yes, if you go and check it out on testnet, you'll see like tons of them. But that's not really required. So I get 376 NFT. Last one was 375, right? So yep, this is how the gasless works. Okay, I am the user. This is a dApp so someone else has created for me, and this person is sponsoring the gas fees for me. I don't have to worry about signing transaction if I use my email account, but if I do use my MetaMask account, then I would have to sign the transaction every time. First time would be when I want to deploy my smart contract account on Polygon, and another one would be when I would try to mint the NFT. Here we are just minting one NFT, and this number is like, it's like a counter that we have set up. Counter is set in the smart contract, not the account, the smart contract. So in the Solidity code, I can share you the Solidity code and you can give it a look at how we are using the counter for it. Okay, so let's log out. So for the time being, this is the gas list plus the social login. Okay. Any questions so far?
Just a doubt here, like I want to confirm the smart contract that you had with MetaMask and with the email, they were same.
I didn't get your question, Garma. Can you repeat?
The smart contract that you deployed with the help of MetaMask and when you connected with the email, they both were same, right?
No. It will be different. See, it's like mapping, okay? I'll try to explain you how this works out. So every time I have wait, I'll see if I can open the board. Okay. So your one this is really bad. Okay, I'm gonna switch to text, okay? Don't mind me. Okay, so every MetaMask or every social login that we will be using, it will get one smart contract wallet. Okay, you will never get the same smart contract wallet address unless you are using the same account. So if I'm using my, let's say, my official account, okay, I will show you once again. If I'm using my official account, I will get only one smart contract account on top of it. There is not a chance where the same smart contract account. So let's just start from 0xabc. This is not possible that when I log in through my MetaMask, I get the same address. This is impossible. MetaMask, all the addresses, smart account addresses are unique in nature. And because every time you sign in with a different provider, whether it's the Google email or whether it's a MetaMask, you will have a different smart contract wallet. Okay, the only time it will be similar is when you will sign in through the same account. That is it. So when I used my Vanshika Shrivastava's account, the first time I had created, and second time again when I logged in back, I had the same smart account address. But when I was using my MetaMask, I had a different address. It detects the new smart contract, what it is detected through what is in base, if it is a new Google account or if it is a new MetaMask account. Okay,
so
all of you can try running this on your end. I am sharing this link. Okay, I told you like what has to be done. Like you just need to log in, number one, and number two is mint the NFT. Okay, then you can check for yourself in the OpenSea. Okay, so I'm dropping the link of this in the chat box. Take around, like it's 7:34. Take 2 minutes, and 2 to 3 of you can send your like the transaction hash or maybe the OpenSea link that is there in the browser. So let's do a quick one. Garima, yes, you had a question.
Yeah, so you minted twice when you were logged in with email. Maybe I missed. The count was 2 there.
So count was 2 because I had already minted it twice. I already own 2 NFTs. The count, okay, the count will increase. So if you try it on your end, okay, I will recommend everyone to try it this one out on their end. When you mint the NFT for the first time, your count will become 1. When you do it for the second time, it will become 2. Okay, you can change your account address also and try it out. Okay, I'm gonna mute myself, and let's say for 2 minutes, like all of you try this out, and then we'll move further. Any one of you who has minted the NFT already? Can you share your NFT link with me? Okay, let's see. Garima has one NFT. It's 382. Okay. I think the last one that we minted was with the token ID of 376. So must have been like other people have minted it out also. Nice, nice. Okay, 379, good. All of you are using MetaMask, or you're using like email also? What do you like much better? Did you like the MetaMask approach, or did you like the email approach? Great. Email is easy. Yes, email is easy. Superb, superb. So we'll do one thing, okay? All of you have minted the NFT already, so you can share it later onwards. This is like a proof of work or proof of knowledge, where you have tried out the SDK demo and you minted this NFT. Okay, so yes, very much open to that. Feel free to share this on your end also, like your Twitter, LinkedIn, whatever you want to. Great. So email is the most favorite one. Okay, now let's try. We'll see if I can show you a bit of code without making you feel
Excuse me.
overwhelmed. Yeah, go ahead.
I have one doubt here. Like when I logged in through mail, then it generated an EOA address. So it generates that address randomly.
Come again.
Since when I logged in with MetaMask, then it had EOA address of the account that I logged in, right?
Yeah.
And when I logged in with mail, then it generated an EOA address. So it was generated randomly, or it was taken from.
Okay, so that how that EOA is being generated, right? That's
Yeah.
what you ask. Okay. Good question, really good question. So I'll tell you what happens is, okay, we are using Web3 auth server. Okay, what they do is that this EOA gets generated from Web3 auth site. Now, why does this happens is so that the transactions can be signed without the MetaMask pop-up. So you should remember that, signature is mandatory. Signatures cannot be removed completely, but you can always get the rid of the MetaMask pop-up. So that's why we have got this email approach where you get an EOA and a smart contract wallet. This EOA is allowing you to sign the transactions without giving you a pop-up, because EOA is you. Okay, so it's like pretty sure that, okay, this EOA will be created and partially stored in the browser, and EOA signing is done through that. So you don't need to have like any of the pop-ups coming in. Okay. And the smart contract wallet gets deployed on top of that EOA address. So this is a Web3 auth server thing that happens here, and your EOA address gets stored partially on the browser itself. So it's like stored right there.
Yeah, and so when we log in again through that mail, the EOA address will remain.
Yeah, in that case, when you use the same email, your EOA address and your smart contract wallet address will be same. Your email needs to be same. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
If you're using an email approach and you wish to get the access to the one single smart contract wallet, then you need to log in through the same email ID. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, welcome. Okay, I'm gonna try seeing if I can help you out and make you understand a bit of code part of it. Okay. Please stop me anywhere you feel overwhelmed, or you feel that you're not able to understand how to execute any of the transactions. Okay. Everyone can see my screen, right?
Yeah, it's easy.
Okay. So what we had was a counter smart contract. Okay. We used Remix here. So you can also use Remix. I'm starting off with the solidity part of this, and we have like published this demo also on the docs, so you will always have an access to it. I'll drop the link beforehand if someone wants to save it on their end, but I'll add it in the Notion doc as well. Great job at minting your first NFT with the account abstraction. Like, really good. Okay, so this is all the stuff that you know, license, you need to mention the compiler version. Now, writing the contract, you would know how to write a contract, but I will try to give you a bit of brief around the counter contract. The name is a counter contract, okay? It's not like a feature or something. So if you see here, there is one thing that we are doing is increment count, okay? Count is equal to +1 and emit update count, okay? This function is being called, if you see, when you were checking out the ANFT Versal app, your count was getting incremented by 1 every time you would call the mint NFT, okay? So this is like part of your smart contract only, that every time you mint the NFT, your account increments by 1, okay? Okay. So that is the first thing. Let me see. Get you the whole. There is so much, so many code right here. I'll present my screen once again. Can everyone see the code?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the counter solidity file, okay, which I just showed you. This is like a whole, you can say, this is like a gas list starter that we created. And I'm trying to pick the one which is the most easiest one, because mine is like a little bit more with the batch transaction. So we'll do that one a bit later. Okay. So another thing is the deploying of the smart contract. The first thing you would have learned is writing a smart contract. You can write for your ERC-721 token, you can write it for counter, whatever you feel like making, okay? But the deployment of that and how we would use in terms of Biconomy will be more or over same only, okay? So you import ethers from Hardhat. This is, you have to use like Hardhat. So how to use Hardhat, like, let me show you. If I can create a new project. What you can easily do is you can start off with npx hardhat. Okay, this is the command. Okay, and if anyone of you wants to use the JavaScript, TypeScript, you can choose one. I would always recommend to create a project instead of just having a empty hardhat config.js, because then you would have to create folders on your own. So it's like a little bit of task. So let's say if I want to have a TypeScript project, I'll click. Okay, I'll put the hardhat project root. Do you want to add .git ignore? I will go with no. And yes. So this is how it, like, you start using Hardhat in your project. There is Hardhat, there is Foundry, and these are the environments basically which you'll be using for creating your smart contract. Okay. So let's wait for a couple of minutes. This is not related to bioeconomy particularly. Okay, I think you're not able to see my screen. Wait. Oh God, okay. Is it visible now?
Yeah, VS Code is visible.
Yeah, this is a terminal. Yeah, VS Code terminal. Okay. So yeah, I was talking about NPX hard hat. When you do this, you get, okay, let me start off from fresh again. I'll start from fresh. So there is hard hat and there is Foundry, but I usually prefer using hard hat foundation because it's like much more better approach. So let's go with npx hard hat. Okay, this is the command. Oh, I'll have to change the repository. Let's create a new folder. Let's name it. Okay. Yes. So now let's do npx hard hat. I'm using TypeScript. Okay. Save TypeScript. Okay. Sometimes like you have to install all the packages like this. So it's so once you install the npx hard hat, okay, what would happen is it will create like a separate separate segment for you, something like this. Okay. This is the more. Okay. So you will have a contract section, you will have a script section and test. Okay. So it already comes with a contract. Okay. The contract name is lock.sol. I don't have this one here because I deleted the contract completely. I wanted to use my own. But if you see the script, okay, the script is always the more or less same. You can change this according to you if you want to. And then you have got the test. Is Kiran, will this part be included in the curriculum where they get to learn about verifying and deploying the contract?
The which one? Sorry, missed it.
Yeah, so like will there be any part in the curriculum where they will learn how to deploy and verify the contract or use hard hat?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool then. Nice. Okay. Fine. So you've got the counter.sol, which is under your contracts, and you've got your scripts, and then you've got a test file. Test is not that important, so you can always ignore it. Okay. Until unless you want to do some checks. Okay. I'll share the hard hat link also, so you can learn a bit about how the environment works out. But let's come down onto the gasless transactions. Okay, that how we do the gasless transactions. So here I've got my app.txs. Okay. So two things to remember, right? Number one is your social login. And number two is, of course, your gasless transactions. So we have got packages here. Okay. You can say two packages, which is for your social login, particularly for your social login. Let me see if I have a bytecode demo also for you guys. Yeah. So this is like a separate demo that I had created, and even you can try out on your end if you want to. But this is like same around how smart account addresses work, and you can view the contract on Polygon scan later onwards. Okay. In the components, I've got auth.txs written in TypeScript. Okay. If it was .js, then it would be JavaScript, TSX for TypeScript. Okay. So here I'm using import social login from Web3 auth, import chain ID from core types. Chain ID is to define which chain you are going to use in your project. Okay. And third one important one is the importing of smart account from Bionomy smart account package. Okay. The rest of them is for your, for your React, for your CSS, and ethers for your signer. Okay. So you will of course you'll have to do a little bit of research. I'll be very honest, you'll have to do a little bit of research on these things based on the dApps you want to create, because there is ethers, there is a Web3 providers. There are a lot of providers that are present, but you can choose which one you want. Or you could go with this one itself, ethers, not a problem at all. Okay, when you install npx hardhat on your local, you will always get an option to choose. And when you check out the dependencies, you will find out that see, this is a dependency. Okay, so you'll find out you're using TypeScript and other versions. Similarly, when you do the hard hat thing, you'll find them in the package.json. I think this is separate thing. Okay. Now, coming to auth.txs, we will try to look at setting up a smart account. Okay, I know this code might be a little bit too much for you, but this entire code from right here, from you can say async function of login, line 33 to line 84. This is for your entire login process. Okay. We are going to get smart account interval, SDK ref, loading current address. We will all get this as a function. We'll export it. Okay. And we'll use the use effect here to configure the login, where we can set the interval of 1000 seconds, like that's like the loading time, we can say. Okay. This is the async function for login. So in login, if you see, what we are doing is we are defining constant. This is like, that's what you use. So constant social login SDK is equal to new social login. And then you need to add the signature. So here signature is basically like what whitelist URL you will be adding to the social login SDK. Okay. So you can always put localhost 3000. Okay. You don't have to put the link directly. So mostly what happens is when you run any command, when npm run dev, okay, I'll show you on this one only. So this is the port. So you see it is localhost in the picture. There's like localhost dot 3000. This is the port number. And this is running on my local host, which means like my computer. Not everyone else will have an access to this one. So that being said, you can include localhost in this whitelist of URL and post that there is setting up of smart account. So here we are going to use Web3 provider, new ethers.providers.web3 provider, and we will add the SDK ref.current.provider. Okay. Another important thing is how to add the chain ID, where you would add your smart account. So I'm going to add new smart account Web3 provider, and I will add it under active network ID. Okay. Chain ID Polygon Mumbai. Okay.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
I have a doubt here. Like here they have used Polygon Mumbai. Here can we use any other or multiple?
Yes. You can, so multiple, if you want to add in supported network IDs, you can add it here. But the active network ID means that on which network you are actually on and you'll be using your dApp. Okay. So if I want to do Goerli, I can add Goerli also here. Okay.
Okay. And
yes,
if okay, and in supported we can add multiple. So
yeah,
when will it shift on that? Like a person want to use Goerli on. can be the user.
So there is that's like a little bit of, you can say, higher level stuff. Okay, there is this thing called DTO, okay, where it's like a temporary network switching, okay, data transfer object. So if you see what happens here in DTO is that you can have an active chain and then you can have supported network IDs. Can you see here?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so I have got chain ID Gurli, I've got Polygon mainnet and Polygon Mumbai. And in DTO object, you can define that on which chain person you wants to, like if a person wants to change the network, they can change it. But it's like a very high level approach. Okay, but here in this case, you don't really need to have supported network IDs on multiple chains. You can just have the active chain and supported network ID in the similar manner. So that's not an issue at all. Okay. That really good question. Good one. Okay, now this is for your setting up of a smart account. You call await smart account.init, set smart account, rest of the code. If you even copy this code, right? Like if you get the basic understanding, you copy the code for your authentication purpose, creating it, you can do that. Like this one doesn't requires any smart contract, the authentication part of it. This is just the social login part of it that I'm explaining. Okay. And then this is like how you want to do the hide wallet. So basically in the social login, okay, I'll try to see if we should be having that. In social login, we have got the modules for it. Okay, so modules in the terms that what functions can you call in social login. So there is init, which is required after the initializing. Show wallet is to show the widget in the UI. Hide wallet is for hiding the wallet. So when I do the login, I call the show wallet. When I want to hide the wallet, then I will use the hide wallet. And logout is for the clearing of the cache also. Okay. Then another two is the get user info, where you will be able to derive the email. So I logged in a tab using my email. So if someone wants to derive that from backend, they can also collect my email, which is completely okay because they won't get the account. They would only get my email. There is no private keys involved here. Okay. And whitelisting of URL. So as I mentioned, if you deploy your site, you need to add the link of your URL in here. Okay. So this is like initializing of social login SDK. Then you add the signature. If you have more than one domain, you can add two signatures and you can call them in the whitelist URL. And then you would provide the access to Web3 auth provider. Okay, like this. This is the package that you really need to use, like the core types and the smart account, these two. Okay. So this was the authentication part of it. Now let me see if I can, I think it's already 8, but I'll just quickly try to squeeze a little bit of how the entire thing that you saw on the back end is happening, like how would we sponsor the ESPs. Okay. So here we don't have anything. We integrate the SDK. Now this is where the integration of SDK happens, and we would require ethers, smart account, chain ID, social login, and used it. Okay. The important thing to understand is the gasless transactions. Basically, this is taken care also on the end of your dashboard. Okay. So with all these things, like you can see, there's a lot of code. So I don't think I'm going to go get into the code, but it, like, we have of course written how to sponsor the transaction. So let's talk about just this part of it. Okay. So there was how we are going to call the transaction is we will use await counter contract dot populate transaction dot increment count. This is the function coming from the smart contract that we had written. Then we would declare the object of transaction one. This is the counter address and this is the increment transaction data. We will, of course, I will show you this complete working. I'm just giving like a brief, and then we will call the send transaction. So if you see, basically like in 4 to 5 lines of code, we are able to send the transaction gaslessly. There, all of this is like CSS code is also required, right? So CSS plus mix of other React objects. So another part is like having a, declaring the contracts. You would need your contract address, your ABI and your provider. And after that, you can just simply do this part. Okay, this is not really required, like this is just the CSS part of it. But you can use the dot populate transaction dot increment count, which is coming from your contract, and you'll be good to go. Okay, just a bit brief on how you can register your smart contract is like you create an account on dashboard, register the paymaster, set up the gas tank, and whitelist the any of your account smart contract, sorry. So let me see, dashboard.byeconomy.io. This is a link to the dashboard. Okay, I already am logged in. So see, I've got like these many paymasters set. As I told you, paymasters are the one which will take care of your gas. So right now I have like 2.3 Matic here. So let's open NFT by economy. This is the API key that will be used in my backend code. Okay, where I would have to add it under DApp API URL. That's a separate thing again. And here I've got my contracts added. This is not active. This one is active. This is my gas tank. Just giving you like an overview. We'll not go into the working of these. We'll go and pick it up in the next call. Okay. So this is the dashboard thing. In the authentication part of it, which the code that I had shared with you earlier, that is just the authentication. The counter thing that we did today with AA NFT, where you minted the NFT, this is what we have done. We have taken that smart account address, we have added it in the paymaster. Okay, then we have deposited this much of Matic. So I'm going to sponsor the gas fees for you, and this entire gas will be covered with the Matic that I have here. And I can deposit 5, 8, whatever I want to. What I need to make sure is this is my MetaMask account. Okay. Wait. Okay. So the way you recharge the gas tank is through your MetaMask account. Getting? That's one thing we'll have to take care. We'll definitely try out the dashboard and we'll help you out with building things around this. But as of now, I think like we are already above the time. I've tried to explain the concept, like going from the NFTs to how the gasless things works out. But as I mentioned, there's like not like a lot of actual code when you are implementing gasless. The code is around the DApp also, so it's looking like a bit hectic. So don't worry about that. I'll share you the specific code snippets also, which you can try out later, and you can have like a authentication demo also that you can build on your own. I'll share the link to that also. Let's like do a short session of Q&A, like if you've got any error. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing. Questions, any questions that you want to drop to chat, I'll also check. Okay, I see Rupa got an error when you minted the NFT for the first time, but it worked the second time. What was the error you were getting?